Hey, welcome everybody. It's Mr. Reality joined by psychic medium Liz Cross. Long time coming. We haven't done a old time photos section in a long time, so I wanted to pull up one of those from an archive of the Library of Congress. How are you, Miss Liz Cross?
Oh, I'm excited for this one for sure. I love the old time photos. Thanks for bringing this to us.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this girl, but it says her name is Miss Janet Alexander, and I wondered if we could bring forth the energy of her and find out what's going on.
I have her here. She's passed.
She has passed. Well, we're sorry about your passing. How many lifetimes has she had as a human being? We always wonder.
How many? 400.
Does she miss being a human? Is she a human now?
Uh, well, she's in spirit at the. Are you in spirit? Yes, she's in spirit at the moment. She loves life, this woman. She loves being a human. She loves everything there is to offer, the good, the bad, the ugly, the creepy, the sensations, the emotions. She loves it.
What is one thing she wishes she could have taken with her as a memory from the afterlife?
Whatever was one thing I wish you could have taken into the afterlife. She's a horsey girl, so her horses.
I'm saying in the afterlife, what does she wish she could take with her? Is she wants to bring her horses with her into the human incarnation, or
Oh, I'm sorry. It's taking the horses with her to the afterlife. So you mean from the afterlife?
yeah, you asked the flip
Oh,
side question. So when she incarnates and she forgets everything and goes through the mind wipe, what is the one thing that she wishes that she could carry forth into her human existence?
the purity of her soul.
Are all souls necessarily pure, or just her life of clean living 400 times?
All souls pure. I mean, intentionally, if you're talking about their intentions, they're all pure. They don't just, do any souls have dark intentions? Not really. The circumstances that they have to go through here on the earth plane bring in darkness, but overall, behind that darkness here on the earth plane, do they have dark intentions? No, not really.
And so, how many people roughly are in her soul group when she crosses over?
Six.
That's a small number. Has those people been with her the last 400 lifetimes? And
Not always. She's talking about her mother. Does your mother Now her mother is very reluctant to be on the earth plane and likes to skip, a generation or two. She likes to skip out of a lifetime, come back, tell us what happened, and see how we can design it. So there's a lot of fear within her mother's soul, or the soul that plays her mother, in coming to the earth plane. She's terrified.
can she tell us about the life of Janet Alexander?
It was a pretty easy existence. It was enjoyable. She had a lot of good times. She had a lot of heartache, had difficult relationships. Um, Husband had many mistresses and affairs. Did you have money in that lifetime? I mean, they were very comfortable. They weren't exceptionally wealthy, but they had a lot more than most. Did you have children? Yes, she did have 4 or 5 children, and she loves them all. So, do you still have some relatives here? Yes, she does. She has great grandchildren here on the earth plane, and she's watching them grow up, and soon they'll have children.
Does she always incarnate in the same genetic line, or can you shift geographical incarnations?
Ooh, do you always reincarnate in the same genetic line? Yes. Yes, she does. And what was the second part of that question, please?
Or can you shift and say, all right, next time I'll incarnate in India, and you have no relatives in India, you just hop into an India body?
That was a good question. No, she tends to follow a path, a pattern, she says. So we'll evolve somewhere for quite some time and then we'll move on, or maybe we want to stay, or I'm saying, but do some souls actually just say, yeah, this isn't really working for me, so I'm just going to jump down in this, particular country or cultural or society? She says yes, but it's quite rare that they just turn up on a in a country that they don't have any prior connections to.
Okay. Does she have a mentor on the other side or someone that she looks up to? Or maybe is she a mentor to someone on the other side?
Are you a mentor to someone on the other side? She's a mentor to one of her sons, yes. Very close to this one particular son. And do you have a mentor? Not really. No, she's quite strong on a soul level, has a very strong character. She takes the rough with the smooth, is what she says. And I just take it in my stride and I keep working towards that ascension process. So she's often leading or a role model on the earth plane.
Is there any way that she can incarnate in another planet?
Is there any way that you can incarnate into another planet? Can you reincarnate into another planet? No.
Why not? What's preventing that?
What's preventing that? The earth plane is the stage.
So you're almost tidally locked or geographically, gravitationally locked to the Earth incarnation cycle. She did mention her horses earlier. I wanted to touch more on that. Does she feel that she can go and visit the energy of her horses where she's at now?
Do you feel? No, because horse lifetimes are shorter than humans. And so as soon as do they usually go straight back down? There's not a long time, she says, for these particular souls, these horses, to be hanging around in the spirit world. They normally just come straight back down. And they experience various owners, but she loved her horses very much.
Has she ever tried to facilitate a evolutionary leap in her horses and have them incarnate as humans?
Horses have them incarnate as humans. She wishes that she could, but it's down to their soul path. They still have quite a few things to figure out in their animal lifetimes first before they're allowed to transition over into humans. So that brings out a good question. So are we just allowed to become human, or do we have to have like a permission to be? You have to have evolved enough to be qualified, she says, to come down as a human.
So she said 400 lifetimes roughly. What was her last non-human incarnation? And she made that leap into being a human.
What was your last non-human incarnation? What was it? Can you show me? It was a monkey.
There's a long history of monkeys or primates evolving into humans. What did she like to tell people that might be struggling with finding happiness in their life right now?
What's it? What would you say to people that are struggling to find happiness? Life is short. This is very temporary. The character that you're playing here on the earth plane may not be ideal. It's not the true you. You have a core, which is your soul, and you need to love your soul.
Is that soul with you when you're incarnated, or only a fraction of it with you when you're incarnated?
Ooh, does the soul go with you into the body, or is it just a fraction? Is it a fraction? You leave. So, yes, but it's a very, very large fraction. that goes into the body. It's only a very, was it small amount? Very tiny amount that stays in the spirit world, almost just as a placeholder.
And where does that soul seat in the human body? Where does it, what space does it occupy?
Where does that soul sit? What space does it occupy in the human body? Underneath the solar plexus.
Is there any technology that we could develop to see the human soul?
Oh, that's a good question. Is there any technology that we can develop to see the human soul? You would need like an energy reader machine.
Yeah, I think you made that up, but okay.
Oh, well, but she's telling me how big is the when the soul is in the body? It's pea-sized, right?
I don't know. She's
It,
telling it. She's explaining it to us. What energy does that pea-sized thing give off?
what energy does that pea-sized soul give off? It basically orchestrated the entire lifetime. And what else? It converses with the subconscious all the time. When necessary, it doesn't like to waste energy. What else can you tell us? I mean, how do we develop a machine that can read a pea size? Can we actually see? Is it in physical form? See, no, that's the problem. The soul is not in physical form as its pure, purest element. So when it is seated behind or underneath, actually underneath at the base of the solar plexus, we can't see it. It's naked to the human eye. So you'd have to like have some sort of energy mapping machine.
And how much energy is contained in that pea-sized soul-shaped cage?
How much energy can, if we used an energy sort of like heat sensor or anything like that, would we be able to see it? No, no, it's not for humans to see. Who can actually see it? Only source can see the soul in a body. So no one else has access to it. No one else can physically see the energy. No.
Is that because it's on a different dimension and that soul or source exists on like a 12 or 15 or whatever 34th dimension and we can't see into that realm?
Is it because the soul exists in a different dimension? No, because only source can see part of itself. And I'm saying, but hold on, because when I'm channeling, souls are projecting themselves. Yes, Liz, you can see the projection. And I've seen like little orbs or like little ping pong balls fly by, right? And those are souls, yes. But to be in a body, that is not accessible to us. And I'm saying, why? Why is it that when they're in the body, it's not accessible, but when they're outside of the body, we can see, I can see the ping pong ball. Like, what is that about? It has to be hidden. It has to be hidden. Why? Is it scared or sore scared of outside forces hacking in? Precisely, she says.
So what is hacking in
So what?
besides Russian hackers?
Yeah. What is hacking in? Breaking the code of the soul.
The code of the soul, can she expand upon that? Tell us more about what that means?
What does that mean? The code. That energy is computer, like AI, computer programming. Is it breakable? No, it's not breakable. Only source can break the soul.
Is source an artificial intelligence?
Is source an artificial intelligence? It could be deemed as that, yes. Is it?
Uh-oh.
Is it in right? Is it organic or is it, inorganic? I mean, it's energy.
I bet Miss Janet Alexander didn't think she was going to get into this deep of a discussion with Liz Cross and Mr. Reality, but I wanted to thank her for her candor and her explanation. Is there anything else that she'd like to share with us that she thinks would help people in their day to day existence?
She's coming back as a man in her next lifetime. She's looking forward to that.
Well, that's good for her, but what about everybody else listening? What can she share with them?
Don't take it so hard and don't take it so personal. This is just a game. This is just a show. It's theater.
Who's orchestrating the theater?
We are.
Is our reality a type of artificial intelligence or the Matrix overlay?
Is our reality a type of artificial intelligence? Well, no, we are in physical form. That is real. Is it some sort of matrix overlay? But we are all part of the matrix, one big matrix. So we're all connected.
What's she gonna do in her next lifetime?
What are you going to do in your play piano and be a composer and let somebody else handle the kids for once?
Of her 400 plus lifetimes, which existence was her favorite and why?
She's going back into some sort of caveman existence.
It's not the first time that's happened.
Right. And she's saying to me, I felt so loved and protected and guided in that lifetime. So their family unit was very small. There was like four people in that family unit, the two kids, the mom and the dad. And there was some, aunties around and maybe an uncle or two. But really, she's focusing on this family unit of four. And she's saying, that was the best lifetime. We were all just so in love with one another. We loved each other just so much. And you can't replace that.
No internet, though. I mean, you know, what are you going to
She
do?
thinks that's funny.
Janet Alexander, thank you for joining us. We wish you success and excitement in your next incarnation. And all those of you out there, if you haven't yet, go to patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond and sign up to help support Liz.
Excellent. This was awesome. Thank you. Mr. Reality does have a tip jar down below.
Bye, folks.